What is up, guys? Jared Spalding here, and today I'm going to be discussing the problem with fake naturals. Now, the reason for this video is pretty simple, okay? I mean, I've watched my fair share of natty or not videos, or why this person or that person's on steroids, and I've seen kind of a common theme in the comment section from those trying to negate the point of the video. And that is, well, whether or not they're on steroids, why do you care? They still look amazing, they look better than you, they're this or that. And it doesn't affect you personally. They're not doing anything to you. They're not forcing you to use steroids. So why do you care if they are natural or not? And this is kind of the theme as well with those trying to negate the point of people exposing fake weights. They say, the person still looks good. They're probably still strong. Why do you care? And it all comes down to one thing for me. These people are scamming. They are ruining the industry. And I'll explain why in just a second. Now, before I do, though, I would like to quickly point out I'm a firm believer that you cannot 100% present a fact, or present, I should say, somebody's natty or not status as fact, unless you personally have seen them fail a drug test, or you personally know that they have never put a needle anywhere on their body, okay? Specifically one area. But anyway, yeah, I do think that you can speculate, and I will speculate from time to time, I'm sure, in the future of this channel. I'm sure I already have at some point. I might present my opinion, but I don't think you should present your opinion as fact. You should let people draw their own conclusions about someone's status by having an objective overview of their progress, their this or that, whatever it might be, and say maybe at the end, this is why I think they are, but I don't think you should actually try to say this person 100% is not natural, because you really don't know, technically speaking, right? Anyway, though, I do believe that anyone who is lying about their natural status is a scumbag, and here's why. So let's look at the competition the competition aspect first, right? If you are in, let's say, football, there is really only one thing at the top level, the NFL. And in order to be in the NFL, one of the requirements is that you can pass a drug test, that you're not using steroids, right? Now, what happens here is essentially, in the beginning, you might have had a couple athletes coming into the NFL who were using steroids to get that edge. They wanted to make sure that they got into the NFL. They might have had really good work ethic, really good genetics, but they knew that they would need steroids to really guarantee them a spot. And then when that happened, they kind of raised the bar. They kind of raised the expectations. So over time, more and more people were forced to use steroids to be able to even make it into the NFL, because a lot of the other people were using steroids and setting expectations for those scouting at the combine, that you should be able to achieve this if you want to be on my team, even though these things are only achievable using steroids. You don't see that, though, so much in strength sports, in powerlifting, strongman, or in bodybuilding, because there is an option for untested athletes to compete. So what you do, or what you're doing as a fake natural in one of these things, is you are unnecessarily destroying anyone's chances as a natural of ever setting records. The strongest natural lifter on the planet, I fully believe, would never be able to set any records in a natural federation, because so many steroid users have come in and set records that are unattainable naturally, even with the best genetics and the best work ethic. If you take two people, right, and they both have top 1% of 1% of 1% genetics, the best work ethic possible, and one of them uses steroids and one of them doesn't, the steroid user is going to be stronger. A steroid user might be weaker than a natural who is much more gifted genetically and much more consistent in their work ethic, but two people who have the same starting point, the same foundation, the same potential, one of them is going to have much more success using steroids. That's just simply true. So yeah, you are unnecessarily destroying anybody's chance of ever being a true natural in the aspect of the competition. If you're in a sport where there's only tested, I can see almost why you might say, well, everyone else is using steroids to get in here at this point. I might as well break the rules too, because that's my only chance. But there is no excuse when there is untested options available. There is just none. But let's look at more now the business aspect of it, all right? One thing is that, this kind of goes the same way. Sponsorships, okay? There might be companies out there, definitely are, that only sponsor athletes that don't talk about steroids, athletes that claim natural. I don't think that any sponsor is going to drug test you, but they want you to claim natural. because they want to, keep up a certain brand image. So essentially what you're doing is the same thing. These sponsors, these top sponsors, are expecting a certain level from their athletes in order to sponsor them. And that level is one that's not going to be attainable naturally. So now any natural, no matter how gifted, simply cannot find a sponsor because all the good sponsors are sponsoring fake naturals. Okay, and this, I feel like you see a lot more in bodybuilding and physique in general, as opposed to in powerlifting. There are a lot more sponsorship options available to non-tested athletes. But it kind of is the same way. There are sponsors, no matter where you are across the board, that are available, that will sponsor you even if you admit to using steroids. It's just they're never as lucrative. So, of course, you're not going to go with them. You're going to go with the people that want you to not talk about steroids, the people that want you to simply claim natural and nothing else. Now, you want to get into the really, really scumbag thing. Here it is, okay? Because if you are faking natural for a competition or whatever, you're only hurting the competitors and you're lying to the judges. That's it. But then you take it to a whole new level when you're lying to everybody, including yourself. Okay? Then that is when a fake natural starts selling their programs or selling supplements. That is basically a scam, and you're a liar, and that's just it. Because what you're essentially doing when you sell supplements and when you sell a program is promising one thing, and that is results. So when you are saying, maybe I use these programs to reach my level of physique or my level of strength, or I use these supplements, these non-anabolic, IPF approved supplements to reach my level, but you actually use steroids as well, you're giving people false hope because they're thinking, oh, well, this program, maybe they have a secret, or maybe there's something secret in this supplement that I can still be natural, just like them, and be at their level. I can be at the top level just like they are. But the thing is, they never will be. And you could be selling to the person who does have the best genetics and the best work ethic, but they will never reach your level because they're not using steroids. But the thing is, everybody who's going to be buying these programs for the most part is probably natural because they probably aspire to achieve what you have, naturally. What they think you were able to achieve naturally, they aspire to achieve that as well, and then they're going to buy your crap, and they're not going to get there, no matter what. So I know you could say, oh, well, obviously programs and supplements are going to have different results for different people, but a billion people could try, these supplements, these programs, without steroids, and they will never achieve, not a single one of them, the level of the person who is selling them, who is using the steroids. So that being said, I do hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or anything else, just leave them in the comments below, obviously. Peace.